I hate this man. I fucking hate this man. This man should never ever show his face in public because he should be embarrassed. Except he has no shame, and he has no shame when he destroyed the state that I have been born and raised in and have loved all my life. Yeah, fuck this guy. Now, what am I rambling about here? What exactly am I talking about? Oh yeah, it ties into my video from last night that I promised you guys and I said I was going to do, and I'm also going to do another follow-up. So enjoy the program. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Zach, the Celtics guy here with another video here, and it's more of a Massachusetts edition of the Global Report with Zach. And after I'm done making that, I'm going to get into the reading series because why not? Just before my stream. It's 1:02 a.m. right now, and I'm just up here chilling and everything. So before I get into that, I told you guys I was gonna dive into some shit, right? Now, right? I told you guys I was gonna do that. I 9 times out of 10, if I say I'm gonna upload a video, I do. I never let you guys out. No, I'm just kidding. But so yeah, about Deval Patrick. You all know my stances on Deval Patrick. I think it's pretty clear if you listen to this channel. You know that the former governor Deval Patrick of Massachusetts was a I don't even know the words, was a horrific, pathetic, abysmal excuse for a leader of this state. And he was a joke and he was an embarrassment. And his policies and economic mismanagement has crushed Massachusetts families and residents alike. This man raised taxes on Massachusetts residents multiple times in a row. We had one of the worst business exoduses of any state in the New England region under this man, one of the worst in the nation. We had thousands of people just get up and leave, taking millions of dollars with them, and they were investing in different states that were more business friendly. And then this what this man did. Deval Patrick destroyed small businesses in Massachusetts. He raised taxes multiple times in a row, probably 20, 30 times in a row. And then not nearly as bad as Martin O'Malley did, but Deval Patrick was way up there. His tax policies by him raising taxes on Massachusetts residents by over $500 million over an 8-year period completely crushed our economy. And he was basically taxing people to death. And his economic policies were absolutely disgusting. And that's the fact. Deval Patrick was a neoliberal, disgusting fucking parasite, and his economic policies and mismanagement were absolutely disgusting. And this man is an embarrassment to my state, and he was and will forever be an embarrassment, and he should be fucking ashamed of himself for what he has done to the state that I love, that was way off track under him. And it was way off track because of him and because of his fucking goon, Martha Coakley, that Charlie Baker utterly defeated in 2014 and who I was proud to vote for. But now, this fucking man, this pathetic excuse for a piece of shit, that's what he is. He's a piece of shit. But this pathetic excuse for a governor, and probably an even more pathetic excuse for a human being, was out in public again fairly recently. And it is a complete and utter joke, but I'm gonna get into that right now. And here he is. Here's this low-life piece of shit right here who raised taxes on Massachusetts voters multiple times in a row, crushed our economy, destroyed small businesses, caused jobs to go under. This man was a bad governor all around. This man is the worst governor in the history of this state. His economic policies absolutely destroyed us. But this is what this man said, and I'm so fucking glad this man will never see the light of day in Massachusetts office ever again. And it is an embarrassment that he was ever the governor of my state for as long as he was. As the 114th NAACP convention wrapped up in its annual national event in Boston Tuesday, former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is looking to Boston's future with optimism. We aren't the promised land by any means, but nowhere else in America is either. But we aren't what we were, said Patrick, who was elected as the first black governor of Massachusetts in 2006. Oh my God, here we go again. Here we fucking go again with the identity politics and just everything else. See, in 2014, people in Massachusetts were so fed up with this guy. That's why his poll numbers crashed. That's why his poll numbers cratered, and that's why Charlie Baker, a moderate, business-friendly Republican, defeated Martha Coakley, his attorney general, who would basically be a continuation of Deval Patrick. She would have been Deval Patrick 2.0. Oh, but this guy right here, oh, this guy's going to talk about optimism. Yeah, you want to know why I have more optimism? Do you want to know why I have more optimism? I'll tell you why. Because your pathetic ass isn't in there. Because your pathetic ass has been voted out, including by an 18-year-old me. My first vote was for Charlie Baker, my first ever vote, because I wasn't old enough to vote in, the 2008 election. I wasn't old enough to vote in the 2012, national election. But when the Massachusetts governor election came up in 2014, in November of 2014, I was 18. That was just after my 18th birthday. And I was proud to vote for him. And this had nothing to do with race. And I'm so sick and tired of the fact that it always has to go back to race. That every single fucking policy position here, it always has to go back to race. Because you know what I was thinking about when I was 18 years old? You know what I was thinking at the time? I was thinking about the fact that I want to live in a state. Well, I want to live in a country in general, but I especially want to live in a state where I can be successful as a human being. I was a teenager. I was starting college. I was just about to start college. I graduated high school, and all that stuff. I wanted to be able to be a person where I could start a career, where I could eventually move out of my parents' house, where I could eventually do this. And a lot of people are doing this. It had nothing to do with race. Race was the last thing on my mind. I didn't care if the next governor was white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. It wouldn't have mattered. And basically everyone was going in a different direction. Everyone was going in a different direction. This is the reason why they voted for Baker. Now, Baker didn't get in the first time around when he ran in 2010, but you know why he got in the second? You know why he got in the second time he ran? Because Deval Patrick's policies were so pathetic and abysmal. Because Deval Patrick's tax policies have crushed us. And they did crush us. They were disgusting. It was basically economic mismanagement. Raising the cigarette tax, raising the gas tax. One of the things that Massachusetts voters repealed, including me, I voted to repeal the gas tax increase, which again saved Massachusetts billions. One of the cheapest gas prices for any blue state in the U.S. next to Rhode Island, as I've said many times before. But if this guy had his way, oh my God, the gas prices in this state would be like California or would be like Oregon or Washington or something like that. So the fact that Deval Patrick raised taxes on the Mass Pike, the fact that he raised toll taxes, the fact that he raised sugar taxes and alcohol taxes and tobacco taxes and raised the sales tax and raised the income tax and raised so many taxes that it basically crushed the middle class. And these taxes didn't go against the wealthy. These taxes were not going against the wealthy. They weren't like the 4% income, the 4% millionaires tax, the 4% millionaires tax that Massachusetts voters voted for, including me. And that millionaires tax is going to help children in the state get free lunches. Every child getting free lunch. Did Deval Patrick ever deliver on those things? No, that's right. Because his tax policies were destructive to the state of Massachusetts, to this Commonwealth. Deval Patrick's tax policies were abysmal. They were economic mismanagement, wasteful spending. just wasteful spending one after the other, raising taxes on basically everything. Why do you think we got the name Taxachusetts? Mainly it was because of this man. If this man had his way, we would have been the California of New England. We were this close to being that way. And the only reason why this state became way more moderate over time was because Charlie Baker, a moderate Republican, got in and he cleaned up operations. What did we see under Charlie Baker? We saw an economy booming, our schools getting better. We saw the economy turning around. We saw all sorts of different things. We saw a bunch of different yeah, a record high passage of spending on housing and better economic development, just all that type of stuff. Like the dude was great. Like he was great. And he just completely reversed what this scumbag did. And I'm just so happy that he did that. And that's not what we were focused on. And I am just disgusted beyond belief about everything that this man said. The fact that this man is going to sit here and talk about optimism. Nobody was optimistic about your leadership, Mr. Patrick. No one was. People were concerned about the fact that you were raising taxes on people multiple times in a row. The fact that Massachusetts' business climate was not very friendly. The fact that we were considered one of the worst taxed states in America. I mean, we still have high taxes, obviously, but under this guy, they were one of the worst in the nation. They were one of the worst in the nation. And when there were businesses that were coming here, and when they were settling in Boston, when they were settling in Worcester, they couldn't do it under this guy because Deval Patrick's tax policies were crushing them. He was destroying small business. This man was an enemy of taxpayers. This man was an enemy of small businesses. This man was an enemy to basically everybody but the top 1%. So if you think that this man cared about the working class in Massachusetts, well, as someone born and raised in Massachusetts, I can tell you, you're sadly mistaken. Because this man harmed the middle class the most. And when businesses came here, they were thinking, when they were going to the North Shore, they were going to the South Shore, they were thinking, oh my God, I wish I opened up my business in New Hampshire. I wish I opened up my business in Vermont. I wish I opened up my business in Maine or Rhode Island. And not only that, the residents were leaving and they were going over to New Hampshire, Maine, and Rhode Island as well because of this guy. That's the thing that I was focused on. That was the thing that 18-year-old me was focused on. And again, I don't want to hear this fucking namby-pamby fucking race. Because I can't fucking stand hearing this type of thing. Because it didn't have anything. It did not have anything to do with race. It had absolutely done. I don't permit myself to be discouraged. I feel like I don't have the luxury. Oh, you had the luxury. Well, you basically destroyed everyone else's economic development. Well, you were destroying taxpayer dollars. Destroying taxpayer dollars, causing them to flee and causing them to go to other states. Why don't we also not forget the fact that Massachusetts also had a severe drug problem under this guy? Why don't we also not forget that? Why don't we also not forget the fact that what him and Martha Coakley were doing as well? That there was a time when Massachusetts was one of the drug trafficking capitals of the nation. Yeah, there was also that. So I don't want to hear for a freaking second about this guy. I don't even understand why this guy, the fact that this guy's poll numbers cratered in his final days. That's the reason he didn't seek re-election. Governors in Massachusetts are not even term limited, but they usually step out after 2 terms. Here's the reason Deval Patrick decided not to seek any more terms. Because his poll numbers were cratering. Because his poll numbers among Massachusetts residents were plummeting, and for good reason. And there was a big pack of people, including many young people, I remember, Because when I remember going to the polling station, I was overhearing a bunch of different things. Like I kept overhearing my parents were saying the same thing. Like my parents were never really one side or the other. My dad was always mostly on the Republican side. My dad said he couldn't wait to vote for him. My dad said he couldn't wait to vote for him because my dad was saying the same thing. Even though my parents are pretty wealthy, they were saying that the taxes were just getting absolutely ridiculous. That they were saying the exact same thing. My grandparents were saying the same thing. Retirees, business, just everybody was affected by this man, and affected in some of the worst possible ways. Deval Patrick's tax policies were parasitical and were absolutely disgusting. Deval Patrick's record of taxes was disgusting. Increasing the cigarette tax by one per pack, raised the Commonwealth sales tax 25%, taking it from 5% to 6.25%. Deval Patrick even said back in 2012, taxes are my business. That was the reason that he didn't want to share his tax returns. Why do you think this piece of shit didn't want to show his tax returns? Why do you think? Because he didn't want to show his tax record of being afloat of all the tax dollars that he was robbing Massachusetts voters of the fact that he was wasting billions of dollars of Massachusetts residents, of their freaking money. That was the reason why this scumbag didn't want to show his taxes, and taxes are my business. Well, taxes were our business, and your tax policies destroyed us, you piece of shit. That was the problem with you. And your $34.8 billion budget, it included no cuts in taxes, zero cuts in taxes, raised taxes, increased spending across government, and wasteful spending at that. The reason that you didn't want to show, Mr. Patrick, the reason that you didn't want to show your taxes back in 2012, the reason that you didn't want to show it now and you want to talk all about this optimism and everything else because you were the laughingstock and you were considered the worst governor in the history of this state. The reason being is because you don't want to show your tax returns that are afloat of all the wasteful spending and the waste of taxpayer dollars of the state of Massachusetts that you have wasted, and the tax dollars that you raised on almost every single Massachusetts family and fucking destroyed. That's the reason why you were and you are incompetent. You did not deserve to be governor. You did not deserve to be governor of my state. And it is embarrassment that you were ever the governor of my state. And it is an embarrassment that you even continue to show your face. You do not deserve to be in any public office. You don't deserve any reward. The only thing that you deserve is condemnation and ridicule for the rest of your pathetic life. Because under your watch, we saw destroyed jobs, destroyed businesses, record wasteful spending on the toll system, wasteful spending on useless shit, record tax increases and destroyed promises, broken promises, empty promises, and destroying the middle class. That's what your record was focused on. That's what you are. Under your watch, that's what we saw. Under your watch, we saw destroyed businesses, destroyed jobs, destroyed lives, destroyed families, divided families, business exodus, corruption, wasteful spending, record high tax increases that destroyed lives in this state, and empty promises and broken promises, and that one after the other. That's what your legacy was. That's what your legacy was. And your legacy will go down as the worst that this state has ever seen. You are incompetent, and you will forever remain incompetent, and you do not ever deserve to be in public office ever again. And I'm sure people in Maryland can say the same thing about Martin O'Malley. And that is what I say about Deval Patrick. People in Maryland voted out Martin O'Malley. People in Massachusetts voted out Deval Patrick. Some of the bluest states in the nation were just tired of getting crushed to death by taxes and wasteful spending. So we had enough. And that's what Maryland did at the time, but that's what Massachusetts did. And that is why I am proud to say that my first vote was for Charlie Baker, that my first vote was for Charlie Baker, and I am proud to have voted for him. And let's just hope that the current governor, Maura Healey, continues to do the same. Let's just hope that she continues to do the same. Like I said, she seems to be a lot more tax friendly. I mean, she wants tax relief, but I feel like she's just getting blocked and all that, and you know. But hey, I am happy to say that we are in a much better position as a state, obviously, because this guy ain't running the joint no more. I am proud to say that Massachusetts is in a way better position than it was when this jackass was running the joint. That is the reason why I'm optimistic about Massachusetts' future, because our state has been heading in the right direction for quite some time. We still have challenges, we still got challenges, and we still got lots to focus on, like housing. We definitely have to focus on housing, rent, because the cost of living is very high in the state and it needs to be addressed. I mean, there are many challenges that we need to address, but I'm optimistic about our state's future, and there's one reason: because Deval Patrick is no longer our governor and will go down as the worst governor in the history of this state. Fuck Deval Patrick. He can say whatever he wants, but I will always speak out against him. Fuck that guy. Well, that's about it for now. Hope you all enjoyed this video that I did, basically ripping into this scumbag. The fact that he's coming back and he's talking out his ass is just disgusting to me. It's just sickening. It's just completely sickening, and it just made me sad and it made me depressed what this man was doing to my state. And that's why I was proud to vote against him. I was proud to vote for a different future, and that's what voters in this state did. And I'm very happy to say that we did exactly that. Deval Patrick was involved in some of the most corrupt and most disgusting economic mismanagement that you could imagine, and that is why he is no more, and he can get fucked, and he will go down as the worst governor in the history of this state. Fuck that guy. And I will condemn him for all eternity. And I guarantee you a whole bunch of other people will as well. So anyway, stay tuned for the next one, including my reading series that'll be coming up next, and other videos and beyond. Look out for it, including my stream later today at 7 p.m. Look out for it. Stay tuned for it. I got loads to talk about. Hope to see you all there. Look out for it. More stuff on the way. This is Zach, the Celtics guy thing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, stay classy, and as always, keep fighting and keep on rocking. Till next time, good night, take care of yourselves and all of each other. Peace out, and so long.